means of communication.
Yeah.
Or the news or any media.
Yeah.
So my community, the Gandharvas, is the name. So we used to go from place to place. So traveling all the time with the music, singing the songs, and also gathering the stories of the village. So what's happening? What's the story behind it? What's happening? So basically, we would make a song out of this story.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of stories like a brother who came from like outside working and he was like killed by his own family, or stories about the community or society. So what incidents is going on. So basically, we would make a song out of that story.
Yeah.
And we would sing it. So when I was in research in the villages, there was a guy who sang for almost 33 minutes, and he portrayed the whole story of an event. And it was crystal clear what happened step by step. That was the technique. And also there was not only the stories, also the epic like Mahabharata, Ramayana, the big stories. It was also told in a song.
Yeah.
And so that would travel from place to place. And also we act as the messenger for the kings. Because the king cannot go to each and every village to convey the message, go and check what's happening. So he would send any message through the Gandharvas to the different community or the village. And then likewise the Gandharvas would sing this, like, the message, because he was like a communication thing. So when he comes, he sings, everyone gathers there, because it was the only means of entertainment.
What time are you talking about?
It's almost 200-300. It's been like before the development of this media in Nepal.
So what are you talking about? How long ago?
Maybe 50-60 years back.
50-60 years ago. And because you are from a gypsy tribe?
Yes. No, this thing was coming from centuries.
Yeah.
And then this stopped before like 50 years, because when there was the development of radio and television, people had a different means of entertainment now.
Yeah.
Rather in the past, we were the only means of entertainment there.
Yeah.
Because we would come and sing and also convey the message to the people.
Yes.
So when the Gandharvas would come in the village, everyone would gather there to listen to the music, because that was the most happening thing in that time, because that was the only means of entertainment. And he would sing a lot of songs and also convey the message.
Yeah.
And storytelling was there.
So and how would they live? Because they were traveling from town to town.
So they were regarded as an artist.
Yeah.
In the past, so people would offer them a lot of food. Raw food, and they were also getting the shelter in people's house.
Okay.
Everyone was very welcoming to host a Gandharva.
Yeah.
In the past.
Is that? But I just heard that is the Nepalese Gypsy tribe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the Gypsies actually were treated well.
In the past.
And respected.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Because they will also act as the messenger of the king.
Yes.
Because when I came to Kathmandu, when I was studying about history, King Prithviraj Shah, he was the king who unified Nepal. He brought us along with him from Gorkha, so that we can also convey the message and things like that, and also act as a spy. This is a conspiracy thing. So there was also the myth that we also act as a spy for the kings. Because when we would go and then we could gather all the information and then so like that. And then that time Gandharvas were treated very good. They offered food, shelter and everything to take back for the music they play. So traveling from one place to another, we used to use sarangi as a singing instrument. So this is how Gandharva, a gypsy in Nepal, would make their living out of. And they never had a proper shelter in one place. Like most of the people would have a land or a house. Or they wouldn't have a proper shelter or house, because most of the time they would be traveling around. So before almost 50-60 years back, there was a development of this all radio means of communications and stuff like that. Then their profession was slowly dying away. And then the practice of the sarangi was also slowly degraded. Also the people stopped playing the instrument because they were not making their living out of it. So rather they diverted their profession into different services. and different works, and then the whole culture was slowly dying. I think it's not been long where we started reviving the instrument. Whether the singing part is very less now, the storytelling, the culture, because they used to sing the songs for the ceremonies, big ceremonies, functions, and also they would sing for the temples. There were lots of stories about the gods and the spiritual songs they need to sing before any event starts. Even now, there's a place in Pokhara, a fort. So we have a big festival called Dasai.
What is it called?
It's a Dasai.
Yeah.
Big festival. It happens in between August, September. So a Gandharva tribe would have to go to this fort to sing a ceremonial song before they start this festival.
I see.
So it was valued that much in the past.
Yeah.
Even I hear the stories from my grandfather that he used to go to the palace to sing the song for the king. So which is like already, already vanished by now.
Yeah. Now I wonder what is the language that because they were a traveling tribe, and did they have a language that is separate from the language that is generally spoken in Nepal?
So we did have our own language.
Yes.
That was spoken between the people.
And what is that language?
We have especially the Gandharva language. But we also were very much good in singing in different local language. Yeah. Like I stay in a Nepali tribe, which is a completely different tribe than what we are, and I can speak that language fluently.
Yeah.
If I stay with the people, like Nepali people, then I speak Nepali.
So the Nepali have their own language?
Yes.
Yes, but you also know the other languages.
Yes. So it's like because they've been working on the community, so they develop their language skill as well. And also the other way of making the living was fishing.
Yes.
The Gandharva people were very much good in fishing. That was their secondary way of making their life.
Yeah.
So they were also very much good in herbs, the knowledge of herbs.
Of what?
The herbs, the medical herbs.
Herbs. Oh
herbs,
yeah. Okay.
So medical herbs, they're good on that as well. And and they also, there's a myth that these people also knew black magic as well.
Yeah.
So there were lots of things.
But that's a myth.
No, they do practice.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather told that he destroyed all the documents.
Really?
Yeah, documents that was useful for the black magic, because he thought that was not very much good for the generation coming further.
And it was really black magic. It was.
It's like healing magic, not exactly black magic too.
But it was considered to be black.
Yeah.
From people who didn't know about it.
They were like witch doctors as
well.
So
Pagan.
That was also there.
I understand.
So lots of things inside the community, and then storytelling. So right now we're more onto, because the singing part and the culture is slowly dying away. Because when I grew up, we were already far away from that tradition, that culture. I grew up with all this rock music and blues music. So it hasn't been long that I started playing the instrument myself. So now slowly we are trying to revive the instrument, so that at least the instrument is being played and practiced. And then when we started playing this instrument, we find so much potential in this instrument, and then so much thing can be done. Because in the past, the music was only played, even the sarangi was only at the back, the singing was on the front.
Yeah.
So it was just like
to accompany,
accompany instrument. But now we are trying to take out the singing and also making this instrument front,
I see.
So that it can have its own identity. Yeah, that's what we've been trying.